All right, good afternoon, everybody. Today it is Thursday, January, what date is it here? It is January 26th. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm Savannah Louie on the Atlanta News First Alert Desk. We are going to be bringing you some of the top stories we have going on right now, not only here in the metro Atlanta area, but some of the top stories that are circulating the country right now. Basically everything you need to know as you head into your afternoon here. That's why we're here to sort of help you out. So first story here, it's a pretty disturbing story that we're following that's been developing all month long here. Gonna pull up some video here. We're learning that 5 Memphis police officers have been charged with second-degree murder and other crimes. This is following the death of Tyree Nichols. Tyree Nichols was arrested on January 7th during a traffic stop. An internal police probe found 5 black officers used excessive force and failed their duties to intervene and render aid on Nichols. Now, these 5 officers were fired last week. They are now also facing aggravated assault, aggravated kidnapping, official misconduct, and official oppression charges as well. Attorneys for Nichols' family says he was beaten. The video of the incident, it's not made public yet, but his family has seen it. Again, the family attorney also says that that video is violent and appalling, the confrontation at least. And these 5 officers you see here, those are the ones who are facing those charges. Now, on to a second story that we're following pretty closely right now. This one actually comes out of South Fulton area, and it's looking to solve a problem that we all know has been a major issue here in the Atlanta area for a while now. We're talking about teen violence. If you watch the news, you know that we have told you time and time again of stories of our youth facing and being a part of gun violence. And so today there's going to be a town hall in South Fulton to sort of curb that issue. We know that Atlanta rapper Young Dro will be headlining the youth town hall in South Fulton today. This is really a timely conversation after the killings of 2 local teenagers happened just days apart. Last week, a 17-year-old was shot taking out the trash while in South Fulton. And over the weekend, a 13-year-old was killed outside an Atlanta skating rink. We also have Atlanta News First Tori Cooper, who's going to be reporting for us at that event tonight. She's going to be there all afternoon getting the very latest on what they're talking about and some possible solutions as well to, again, hopefully curb some of that violence that, I know all of us are just so sick of talking about and hearing about as well. All right, now I want to move on to another issue. This is here in the metro Atlanta area as well. But for this story, we're going up to Kennesaw. So we discussed this story in one of our later newscasts last night, but I think it is still so important to talk about. We're learning that a KSU student is sharing alarming accusations of racist slurs and violence. You can see some surveillance video here capturing some of the moments where this man says he was physically assaulted up in that left-hand corner here. Jalik Rosemont says 2 white men approached him saying those racist slurs as he returned to his apartment Saturday night. Rosemont says things got physical and violent when he got out of the car, and he tells us that the men hit him and then kicked him to the ground once he fell. The college student was able to get away, thankfully, and his roommate got help. But these 2 KSU students are speaking out to just raise awareness of some of that bad behavior. Again, this is something that we do not want to see. If you know any information about this incident at all, we are asked to contact police immediately, and hopefully we can resolve some of this violence here. All right, now I'm going to move on to something a little more uplifting here. I know I'm excited about this. Many of you at home probably looking forward to this as well, and you can tell if you're looking at the screen right now, you see that bright orange lettering. You know what that means. We're talking about Whataburger. All right, so Metro Atlanta opening up its 2nd Whataburger. This is going to be in Woodstock in Cherokee County. All right, you might have just seen those police officers on your screen here. Well, they're out there because today's grand opening is expected to be completely packed. The video that you're looking at right now, well, that's before the Whataburger actually opened, but right now it opened at 11 a.m., so we're about 3 hours after the opening here, and you bet it is packed Right now, that Whataburger is only open for drive-through service. So if you were hoping to sit down at one of those tables, taking out one of those iconic Whataburger placards, if you've been, you know what I'm talking about, you won't be able to do that for a while. Everything is just drive-through right now. And now, if you haven't been to Whataburger, I'm going to give you a recommendation. You want to try the patty melt. And I say this as someone who lived in Texas for 6 to 7 years. Patty melt is the way to go. I am so excited for all y'all to try that. All right, our final story of the afternoon, which is making pretty big headlines nationwide here. Of course, when you have President Donald Trump as a topic, it's going to be making headlines no matter what. Anyways, story for this is Trump returning to social media. You may remember Meta kicked former President Donald Trump off the Facebook platform and Instagram platform. This was after the January 6th attack on the Capitol. But Meta announced that they are going to be reinstating his social media accounts. Meta's vice president of global affairs says people should hear what their politicians are saying, but they said there are new rules to make sure Trump and other politicians don't post violating content. So the hope here is that former President Donald Trump rather, can use his voice, connect with the public, but do it in a safe way as well. All right, and with that, it is 2:15. Those are your top stories, 5 of your top stories going on, not just here in Metro Atlanta, but all across the country as well. Things that I think that you need to know to stay informed throughout the rest of your day. Now, be sure that if you have to leave us, we're going to be on air from 3 p.m. No one's waking up at 3 a.m. 3 p.m. until 6:30 p.m. We're also going to be on Peachtree TV from 9 until 11, and then back on WANF at 11 o'clock p.m. Hope you guys can join us. You're going to get the latest on all these stories and much, much more. For now, I'm going to say goodbye with a beautiful look at our Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport. Wouldn't it be nice to get away? I could use a long vacation. Doesn't it feel like the holidays were way too long ago? I could go for another one. All right, y'all. Well, with that, we'll say goodbye, and thanks for tuning in.